What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Monday, October 21st, 2024, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now it is 22:19 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from the Middle East, Asia, and Eastern Europe. I want to start with the Middle East. So Israel's Channel 14 reported earlier today that Israel is considering strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities, oil facilities, government targets, and military targets. Wow. Okay, so contrary to what the mainstream media reported about 2 weeks ago, allegedly that Netanyahu told Biden that, yeah, we're not going to strike the nuclear facilities. Obviously, Netanyahu was lying to Biden because he knows that Biden is a leaker. And the last time Israel told the U.S. that they were going to strike Lebanon and invade Lebanon, the U.S. warned various countries in the region, and it basically spoiled the attack and ruined the surprise. So Israel obviously doesn't want that to happen again, so they're probably not telling the U.S. everything, which is smart. But major breaking news coming in. Israel's Channel 14, citing sources, reported that potential targets for an attack on Iran include nuclear facilities, oil facilities, and military and government targets. Okay, government targets, guys. You know what that means? That's a decapitation strike. Okay, that would be Israel going for the leadership, the Ayatollah Khamenei, the president, the top generals, and eliminating them. Okay, this is going to be a very, very serious strike. And there was an attempt on Netanyahu's life over the weekend. Hezbollah launched a drone at one of Netanyahu's houses, and nothing obviously happened to him. But now we're hearing various sources reporting that Israel is considering a more serious strike after this attempted assassination of Netanyahu. We also have some major breaking news coming in from Trump. So Trump recently did an interview with the Wall Street Journal, and he said that he threatened Putin with a strike on Moscow if Putin invaded Ukraine, and he threatened Putin during his presidency. Okay? And he said, quote, "Vladimir, if you go after Ukraine, I am going to hit you so hard, you're not even going to believe it. I'm going to hit you right in the middle of freaking Moscow," Donald Trump said, without specifying under what circumstances and when he and Putin had this conversation. "I said, we are friends. I don't want to do it, but I have no choice," Trump added. According to Trump, Putin replied, "No way." Trump responded, "Way." So very, very serious news. Trump threatened Putin with a nuclear strike on Moscow if Russia were to invade Ukraine. He said that he did this while he was president, and maybe that's why Putin did not invade Ukraine, because Putin was afraid of Trump. And the U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin confirmed today that the U.S. THAAD anti-missile system is now operational in Israel. Remember, they sent one over last week. Israel has since requested 2 more THAAD systems. THAAD stands for Terminal High Altitude Area Defense, and basically the THAAD system is for shooting down medium to long range missiles. We have a THAAD system deployed in South Korea to protect Guam, Japan, Taiwan, and Australia from North Korean and Chinese ballistic missiles. So the fact that the first THAAD system is now operational in Israel means that the strike on Iran is coming very, very soon. It could happen later on this week or even tonight. And right now I have my 24/7 live stream on. And there's been a flurry of emergency action messages in the last hour. An emergency action message is a nuclear attack option sent out to U.S. nuclear forces. And they're just coded messages telling our nuclear forces what to do, targeting information usually. And there were a lot of them in the last hour, so something is going on. There was also another nuclear war radar that was active tonight. And we're hearing that several ballistic missiles were launched towards the Israeli port city of Haifa and its suburbs just about an hour ago. So a bunch of ballistic missiles inbound to Haifa tonight, just in the last hour. And a cargo plane carrying Russian citizens was apparently shot down in Sudan. Very interesting. And members of Israel's political security cabinet have been informed that a very significant attack will be carried out by Israel against Iran soon, according to Israeli Channel 13. And Israel believes that Iran will react strongly to the attack. So that's why they're getting everything in position before they launch this attack. Okay, they're getting the THAAD systems in position. There's another aircraft carrier strike group moving to the region. The U.S. moved F-22s, F-16s, F-15s, and A-10 Warthogs, several squadrons of them. Okay, they also did a B-2 demonstration a couple of days ago. Okay, they hit those Houthi weapons bunkers in Yemen with the B-2 stealth bombers. That was clearly a demonstration to Iran, basically threatening Iran, listen, we have these B-2 stealth bombers. We can take out your bunkers. We can take out your nuclear facilities. There's nowhere you can hide, so don't piss us off. That's what that was about. Okay, and it's very likely that those B-2s are going to be used in this Israeli strike on Iran. And this update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply has brought back their 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you have to use the link preparewith.nyprepper.com. And the link is in the description below this video. And this 3-month emergency food supply has a 25-year shelf life with over 2,000 calories per day, all packed inside of 6 rugged water-resistant buckets. Free shipping is included. The normal price is $800. If you use the link, you'll only pay $600 for 3 months of food with free shipping. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply, and the link is in the description below this video. And Israel's response against Iran will intensify following the drone attack that targeted Netanyahu's residence, political sources told Israeli Channel 12. And Iran warned the United States would bear full responsibility in case of a retaliatory attack by Israel on Iran, after Biden indicated that he was aware of Israeli plans to do so. So we have to be on high alert, guys, because it's possible that all of these Iranian proxies and Islamic terrorist groups around the world are going to go crazy and start attacking us all over the world, our embassies, and here at home as well. We could see an increase in terrorism. There could be a global jihad declared after this Israeli strike on Iran. It's very, very likely. Actually, I'm like 100% sure that a global jihad will be declared by numerous groups, terrorist groups, and even by Iran itself. And so we have to be on high alert, guys. Be aware of your surroundings. If you live in a big city, you should always be aware of your surroundings. Use your peripheral vision. Don't use tunnel vision. And when you're looking around an area, remember to also look up every now and then. A lot of people, when they're trying to be situationally aware, they're scanning left and right and behind them. That's a natural thing to do, is to look behind you constantly, or to your left, to your right. But people forget to look up. See what's above you. Look above you. Don't just look down or straight ahead. And use your peripheral vision. Okay, you're going to be able to see things a lot quicker with peripheral vision, and you can practice that at home by just holding your hand to your side and trying to see your hand as you move it from the side of you to the front of you, and trying to basically maintain your focus on your hand as you move your hand from the front of you to your side and back and forth. And that's a good way to practice your peripheral vision. Get in the habit of using peripheral vision. And Prime Minister Netanyahu's office announced that several world leaders reached out after the assassination attempt, including Trump, the Prime Ministers of the UK, France, and Austria, as well as the US Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, among others. And the IDF spokesman, Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, stated that there are millions of dollars in gold and cash in Nasrallah's bunker. The bunker is located directly beneath the Al-Sahel hospital in the heart of Beirut. And speaking of Beirut, there were more Israeli strikes on the suburbs of Beirut this evening. Probably a dozen or more buildings were hit. We don't know yet any of the details, but Israel did launch a bunch of strikes just about 3 to 4 hours ago this evening. And China announced that they're going to start live fire drills tomorrow off the coast of Taiwan near the Nuke Island, which is the closest point between China and Taiwan. So live fire drills tomorrow off of Taiwan near the Nuke Island, which is a Chinese island. Okay, now just a couple of days ago, China did those snap drills where they practiced blockading Taiwan, and there were over like 100 planes, Chinese military planes, that were involved in this blockading drill around Taiwan. And then the next day, China's president Xi Jinping said that the Chinese military needs to prepare for war. Okay, now they're doing live fire drills, guys. This is very, very serious. And the Japanese military went on full alert and scrambled fighter jets recently to intercept a squadron of Chinese bombers and fighter jets over the waters near Japan. The Chinese bomber squadron flew a combat patrol into the Japanese air defense identification zone. Very concerning. And we're hearing that at least 8 Russian strategic bombers are airborne over Russia, heading to launch locations to launch missiles at Ukraine. The Russian strategic bomber network on 4.389 megahertz was active earlier this evening. So it looks like Russia's about to launch a massive strike on Ukraine. And what I fear the most is one of these strikes eventually is going to have nuclear warheads in it, okay? And these could be very small warheads. They could be just 1 to 5 kiloton warheads, just enough to take out small cities, small towns that Russia's having difficulty repelling Ukrainian forces from, like Chasiv Yar or some of these other places, even inside of Russian territory. They could even use small tactical nukes on their own towns in Russia to kick the Ukrainians out of Kursk. Okay, Kursk is the oblast in Russia where Ukraine has invaded, and Russia still is unable to kick them out, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. So I'm very concerned that Russia could start using very low-yield nuclear weapons to try to hit some of these frontline areas in eastern Ukraine and in Kursk in Russian territory to try to repel Ukrainian forces and get them out. And NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte said that he spoke to South Korea's president today about NATO's close partnership with South Korea, including defense industrial cooperation and the interconnected security of the Euro-Atlantic and the Indo-Pacific. He also said that North Korea sending troops to fight alongside Russia in Ukraine would mark a significant escalation. And the U.S. said that they're looking into reports that North Korea has sent troops to fight for Russia in Ukraine. We did have a video come out over the weekend showing 10,000 plus North Korean troops at a training ground near Vladivostok in the Russian Far East near North Korea. So North Korean troops are being trained in Russia in the Russian Far East, and we're hearing from various intelligence sources that what Russia's going to do is they're going to disguise these North Korean troops as Russians from the central and eastern part of Russia, where there's a lot of people who have Asian heritage and they kind of look Asian. They could pass for an Asian. So that's what we're hearing, that they're going to just say that they're from the Russian Far East or from, Siberia somewhere. And I want to just show you guys some flight paths. We have 2 nuclear war command and control planes here that were up in the air earlier this evening, and also a Cobra Ball, which is a missile detecting plane. One of these nuclear war command and control planes is actually still airborne, and we also had a B-52 nuclear bomber airborne late last night over Louisiana. It took off from Shreveport, and it was doing loops here for several hours late last night, which is very, very strange. Okay, very unusual. And then we also had this Sub Hunter just north of Scotland flying super low, doing loops here just north of Scotland, flying as low as 1,000 feet. Okay, that's really, really low. Looks like they were onto something out here, so maybe a Russian sub or something. But the EAMs, the nuclear attack options, are going crazy tonight. I am going to be going live after I post this update, and I'm going to be monitoring the situation. It looks like something could be going down tonight or tomorrow. As I'm recording this video, there's more EAMs. I can see them on my second monitor going off, so I will be in the stream tonight. And here we have an Italian reconnaissance plane that was patrolling the coast of Romania, and it looks like it was picking out targets for Ukrainian forces to strike in western Crimea here. Here's a picture of the Chinese bomber that flew into Japan's air defense identification zone. And then here's a North Korean and Russian flag somewhere in the Donetsk region. So this is very, very concerning, guys, okay? As you can see, there's escalation on all fronts now, okay? We're seeing the worst case scenarios starting to play out, okay? We have China preparing for war now with Taiwan, doing another exercise tomorrow. They did one a few days ago. The president there, Xi Jinping, saying that they have to prepare for war. We have North Korea putting their long-range artillery on high alert. As many as 700 pieces of artillery on the border of South Korea is now on high alert. They destroyed the roads. They destroyed the railroads. Okay, so North Korea is getting ready to attack South Korea. China's getting ready to attack Taiwan. Israel is getting ready to launch a massive denuclearization and decapitation strike on Iran, which the U.S. is going to be a part of. It's going to happen before the election, most likely, maybe even tonight, who knows. But tune into my live stream tonight, and I will be monitoring the situation live because the EAMs are going crazy right now as I'm speaking, as I'm recording this. It's possible something could go down tonight, but just get prepared, guys. Okay, escalation on all fronts, and then we also have Ukraine and Russia, okay, and then we also have the election. Okay, we're still waiting for Ukraine to conduct these deep strikes on Russia, and Russia has already revised their nuclear doctrine so they can use nuclear weapons against Ukraine once they do these deep strikes, okay, and it's possible that Putin is just waiting for that so he has a good excuse, a good justification to use them. Okay, so get prepared. Make sure you have a fallout shelter. Make sure you have a bug out bag. And also get right with God. That's the most important prep. Follow me on Telegram and Twitter. I post all my updates there. The links to my Telegram and Twitter are in the description below this video. If you follow me on those platforms, you'll never miss an update. and you'll never miss a stream because I post all my updates and streams to those platforms. Okay, sometimes YouTube doesn't send out notifications, so don't rely on YouTube. So until the next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 P's: prepare, practice, and persevere.